In studio to assess this one, Joe Musso alongside Lige Douzable. Deuce, I'm looking at the numbers for the Lions here because it's an impressive defense for Cleveland.
Correct.
We've seen that week time and again. 277 total, 4.9 per play. You get a touchdown in the third phase, but still 34-10 coming off of what by their standards isn't the most explosive game. What do you make of it?
Moose, the score isn't indicative of how this game went. You talked about it. The third phase, special teams gets a punt return. Also on defense, you get a score. Let's not forget the DJ Reed interception. He gets tackled at like the 4-yard line that sets up a touchdown for Amon-Ra St. Brown. So a great defensive performance by the Lions. Now, you talked about this Browns defense isn't talked about enough because the offense struggles so mightily. Yeah. But that Browns defense got after it. I know there were some headlines with John Morton, the offensive coordinator, saying, well, Myles Garrett hasn't seen our run game. And besides Jahmyr Gibbs, the Cleveland Browns showed up, and they mitigated the run. I believe they gave up just over 100 yards rushing, and it was less than 4 yards a carry. So they did what they needed to do on defense. You can't turn the ball over at that clip and expect to win games.
We're looking at Jared Goff, who was completing 73% of his passes coming into this game, finishes of 16 of 27 for 168, 2 touchdowns. You know, that offense is going to want to be more explosive, more efficient. But I'm looking at the Browns right now and trying to figure out what's your why. You look at the defense, and it offers you hope that you can flip some tables, move some chairs, as you like to say, and make some noise. But should the intention of this team right now to be find out what you have at quarterback? Is it time to see one of the rookies?
It's time, and I thought they should have started off playing some of the younger guys, right? You have 2 rookies, one you drafted in the 3rd, one you drafted in the 5th. It's time. Joe Flacco came out in my class in 08. And Moose, we were both looking at the TV when he threw that interception on a throwaway and saying, what are you doing? Yeah. You've been in the league entirely too long to make mistakes like that. Kirby Joseph is literally playing center field. He's almost like a punt return. That's probably one of the easiest interceptions he's ever had.
And I think maybe, Deuce, it comes from a miscommunication there between Flacco and the wide receiver. So if you're going to have miscommunications and inefficiencies offensively, why not in a developmental situation?
Why not put the younger guys in, to your point, Moose? So it'll be interesting. Kevin Stefanski has to make a decision probably soon because there's going to be rumblings from the fans. They want to see what these younger guys can do. This Browns defense has kept them in games. Even the blowout loss to the Baltimore Ravens, that wasn't indicative of how that game went either. The Browns defense showed up. So you were saying, Moose, if you're a Browns fan, you're leaning on saying, we have a championship-type defense or a really good defense. Why not see what these young guys have? Because we're going to be in a position with 2 first-round picks to potentially go get our guy next year if we don't have that current guy in the locker room. But the only way we can find that out, Moose, is if the young guys play.
Let's flesh it out one further. Do we go full JV split squad? Do we let both get reps? Do you have a name in mind you want to see first?
I think you have to roll Dylan Gabriel out there first just because that's how it was in preseason. He was the backup quarterback. He was efficient throughout preseason. Yes, I believe he only played in the 1 preseason game, but he looked really good in his time going out there with the offense. So I roll him out. But I'm like you. I'm JV it. Give them half and half, right? If we have 14 games left or 13 games left, give them 6 and 7 games apiece, right? Now, again, if one quarterback goes out there and plays really well, you stay with the hot hand. But if he goes out there and struggles like most rookies do, why don't you see what the other rookie has as well? Because, again, with the draft capital you have, if you feel like you don't have the guy of the future in your locker room, you have that ammunition, go get your guy next year.
We saw it this week in New York. Let's find out. We'll see if it is time for those rookies in Cleveland as the Lions win 3 straight and improve to 3-1. All right, a look at the offensive excellence of the Detroit Lions. 137 points through 4 games, and that was after a slow start against the Green Bay Packers. It is the 2nd most through 4 games in franchise history.